Okay, here we go. Fast factor. So when the leading coefficient of the quadratic is 1, then there's a shortcut for factoring. So what that means, when there's not a first, like if there's not a number in front of this x squared, like a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, if there's nothing there, we know it represents 1. When there's not a number there, we can do a shortcut for fast factoring. Before we get into all that, though, we're going to very quickly use the area models to factor, okay? So very quickly, we're going to go through, we're going to find the M and A, and we're going to use the area models, and we're going to factor. Then, after we do the long way, we're going to do the shortcut, okay? So we're going to do the long way first, and then the shortcut. So for this first problem here, a squared plus 8a plus 12. What is my M? 12. What's my A? Okay. Like I said, I'm going to go fast, so make sure those pencils are flying. Now, what can you multiply together to get 12, then add together to get 8? 2 and 6. So that's my MA. You will use this step in the fast factor. So you have to be confident with finding your MA. Now, that's where all this other stuff we're getting ready to do is going to be the long way. I'm going to show you a shortcut after we do it the long way, okay? Good morning. All right, so what do I do with my MA? They become my what? Okay, so which one are we going to put in our top right? What variable goes with it? A. What goes in my bottom left? 6. What variable goes with it? A. Okay. And then we plug in the area for the remainder of our rectangles. What's the area of the top left? A squared. Bottom right? 12. Okay. Greatest common factor for our top row, which will determine our height. 1A. Or we're just going to put A. We're going to put it in simplest form here. So that's my height. Oh, I didn't mean to use the same color, but that's okay. So that's my height. So now we need to find the width. So A times what will get me to A squared? A. That becomes the width of my first rectangle, so I label it. And A times what will get me to 2A? 2. That's my width, so I bring it up. Once I bring these two widths up, I also just automatically bring them down. And so now I need to find the height, right? So what times A will get me to 6A? Does 6 times 2 equal 12? Yeah, so the height of my bottom row is going to be 12.
6.
The height of my bottom row is going to be 6. Sorry. I looked right at the 12, and that just stuck in my mind. Okay. What's that? I am. I'm thinking about my cupcake I'm going to eat tonight. I need to stop doing that. Focus on math. Okay, here we go. So area equals height times width. What's my height? What's my height? A plus 6. What goes around that? Parentheses. Another set of parentheses. What's my width? A plus 2. And box it. Okay. If you don't have it down, try to quickly get it down. If you do have it down, feel free to go ahead and start finding the MA of the next one here. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do in red. Okay, what's my M going to equal? 24. My A? 10. What can you multiply together to get 24, but then use the same factors to add together to get 10?
4 and 6.
4 and 6. Okay. So that 4 and 6 become my areas on my top right and bottom left. I'm going to do 4A because the variables are A, 6A. What's the area of my bottom right? What's my area of this rectangle here? 24. And then my last area will be... Oh my goodness, why am I saying A, you guys? You guys are all focused and you're not even paying attention to me. Goodness gracious, we need to call it a day, right?
Yeah.
I'm on summer vacation.
And I go back to sleep.
No, right. Okay. Do I have everything up here correctly? We know I'm making mistakes this morning. Is this all right?
Yes.
Are we sure?
Yes.
Okay. Now what do?
Find the height.
Find the height by finding the greatest common factor of my top row. What's the greatest common factor here?
1,
Was it?
4,
Not 4C. Nope.
C.
Just C. Basically, you have to think. This number is 1C and 4C. What common number does 1 and 4 share? Just the 1. Because if I would make a factor tree with 1, I'm just going to have 1. For 4, it'll be 2 and 2, but every number has what in common? 1. So the greatest common factor would be 1. And then what variable do they share?
C.
C. But because we're putting it in simplest form, we're just going to leave that 1 off. It means the exact same thing. Okay, so that's my height. So now we're going to find the width. Okay? Bless you. So C times what equals C squared?
C.
Yeah, that's the first width. C times what equals 4C? What do I do with these widths? Bring them down. From your folder? Yeah, go ahead. Okay, now what's the height here?
4 or 6.
6, yeah, because 6 times C is 6C. Then 6 times 4 is 24, so my height is 6. And I know I'm flying through this part. I'm ready to write my final answer.
6. Wait, parentheses 6 plus
No. What's first here?
C plus
C
C.
plus 6.
There we go.
And next parentheses C plus 4.
That is an ugly C. And box it. Hey, Sean, you really need to get onto Google Classroom for health and do that Fed Up video and worksheet. I even have a note. Look, I wrote a note when I was starting yesterday for you on that yellow pad. You can, I mean, you don't have to do that now, but at some point, because that'll bring that grade up. Okay, so that's the long way. You guys ready for the shortcut? You tired of doing the long way? Okay, let's do the shortcut. All right, now, in the following examples, we're going to factor without using an area model. Okay, so the steps that you're going to have to follow, you're still going to have to find the M, and you're still going to have to find the A. Okay, so you're still going to have to find the M, and you're still going to have to find the A. So what's the M of example number 1?
36.
What's the A?
15.
Now, what can you multiply together to get 36, but add together to get 15? Use your cheat sheets, guys. So go to 36. Which of those can you add together to get 15? So find 30.
3.
Say it again.
12 and 3.
So we're going to do 12 and 3. Okay, you ready for the fast part? Yeah? We're going to come up, we're going to put our equal sign. Remember, that's our total area, right? So if we have area, it's going to equal height times width. What's my variable I'm using? D. We're going to use the, it does not matter which order you put these in, okay? So we're going to put our 12, because that's what you guys told me first. Is it a positive 12 or a negative 12?
It's a positive.
So I'm going to put D plus 12. That is my height. So what number am I going to use for my width? The 3, right? Because I used the 12 already for the height. What number do I have left? The 3 for the width. What variable do I need? D plus 3. That's it. That's your answer. That's for fast factor. Now, what I want you to do, if I go back and I try to show you on my docery, it won't show you. But what I want you guys to do, go back to the first 2 examples that we did. The ones that I made you do it longhand. Now, what I want you to notice on the first one here, what was your MA for 12 and 8? 2 and 6. Now look what your answer is. A plus 6, A plus 2. Or it could be A plus 2, A plus 6, in parentheses. You got the same answer as showing all your work, right? Same thing with your next example problem. For the second one we did longhand, M equals 24, A equals 10. Our MA was 4 and 6. Our final answer was just the M and A, right? Yeah, so that's fast factor. You can only do it when the coefficient is 1. Okay? You can't do it if it has a higher coefficient than 1. All right, let's look at the next example then. Okay? So what's my M
6,
and my A?
5,
Okay, what's the MA? What can you multiply together to get 6? But add together to get 5? No? 2 and 3. So, we're going to use these two numbers in our answer. What variable am I working with here?
E,
E, so it's going to be E plus, and it's a plus because it's a positive 2. What do I put around this?
parentheses,
Parentheses, because that's my height. And then what's my width going to be? We go back to our variable. Say it, Beyonce. Yeah, E plus 3. And with parentheses, box it. I love it. Right? But you can't always do it, though, unfortunately. Isn't this a good lesson to end on, though?
No.
What? Fine. Just for that, we're going to do solving equations by factoring.
Derek, why do you say something?
No, I'm teasing. I won't do that to you guys after doing this one because this one's so fast. Okay. What's my M? And my A. So, because the M is 10, that's your multiplication, that's your factor, so you use your factor pairs. Find the 10.
1,
Which of those can you then add together to get 11? 1 and 10. So I'm going to put 1, comma 10. I'm going to circle it. And now I'm ready to write it out. So what's my height?
F plus 1,
Could I put F plus 10 first?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, it don't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. What's my width?
F plus 15,
That's my answer. Thumbs up if you got it. Thumbs in the middle if like, eh. Thumbs down if you're like, whoa. Okay. I don't know what this is, Brendan. It's like this, can't you make up your mind? Were you stretching there? Okay. All right. Doesn't work when the coefficient isn't 1. Nah, I've been telling you that all along. And I want to show you why. So we're going to do one more longhand example for today, but when I give you your worksheet, it's all fast factoring. I will do a couple examples with you, because what do you think I'm going to add in on your worksheet? Are they all going to be positives? Have you ever read Pete the Cat? You've never read Pete the Cat? What does Pete the Cat say? Goodness, no. Yeah, there's going to be negatives in there. Okay, so we're going to find our M. What's our M? 60. 60. So 3 times 20 is 60. And our A is what? 16. Okay? Because our M is 60, we're going to find the factor pairs as 60 to see which of those can add up to get our A. He wasn't in here. He can catch up in a minute.
I'll let it go.
What's my MA for
6 and 10.
6 and 10? And they're positive, so 6 and 10. These become the areas, right? Of top right, bottom left. What's my top right area? 6 what?
G.
G. Could it be a 10G too? Yeah. Area of the top. And then what's my final area I need to write in here?
20.
20. Okay. Give you guys a second to catch up here. Now, off the top of my head, I'm not quite sure what the greatest common factor is for 3 and 6. If I don't know what the greatest common factor is for 3 and 6 off the top of my head, what am I going to have to do? Factor tree. Can I factor 3? Yeah, it could be what? 1 and 3, right? So 3 is a prime number. What about for 6? What numbers can I? So what number does 3 and 6 share? 3. So what's the greatest common factor? 3 what? G. And that becomes my height. So I'm going to go ahead and plug my height in. Both of my rectangles, just so I don't forget to show all my work. Because that would be a silly point to lose. What do I do now? What do I do now? I know Kelsey knows what's going on. I know Jemiah does. I know Rihanna does. Those are the 3 people I've heard participate the most today.
3G.
3G times what equals 3G squared?
3G.
Nope, that would be 9G. How about just
1G.
1G? You're 50% right. 1G, or as Elizabeth just said, G. So I'm just going to put the G up there because I want it in simplest form. Okay, 3G times what equals 6G? 2. That becomes my width. What do I do with these widths? I bring them down. And now I find the okay. And what is that you just found, Haley? Help her out. What'd she just find? She said 10 times G equals 10G, 10 times 2 equals 20. What's my missing link? What is that thing called? Sorry, now your mouth's full. No, not the width. The height. All right. And my final answer is what here?
3G plus 10.
Times, what's my width? Okay, what I want you to look at here. In fast factoring, our MA ended up being part of our answer, right? Is my MA part of my final answer here? No. So it only works if your coefficient is what number? 1. So you can only fast factor. Oh, shoot, I forgot we got out early. If your coefficient is 1, hang tight. You're not out until 9:15.
I'll leave at 9. I'll leave it.
You're leaving 10 minutes early.
No, it says 9.
No, honey, that's Tuesday. This is today. You had me all frantic. Okay, that's it. That's today's lesson, though.